He was the steady voice for 20 years, concealed by the sawdust, built by Norm Abram in addition to furniture. With his guidance, he garnered confidence from 21 seasons and around 300 episodes at the brand new Yankee Workshop. In light of his, with a steady hand, a plaid shirt, and kind guidance, Norm achieved the status of mainstay in the American diet. However, concealing the peaceful workshop entrances, a problem emerged, slowly falling apart. Even though 235 opportunities to tutor millions of people through displays, Norm was occupied with an issue really private. Loss of weight rumors went into a whirl. Anyone watching could tell that he appeared distinct. The following day, following a subsequent 4 after decades of watching TV, Norm suddenly fled the scene. Nor a farewell party, nor go back. Thanks to WGBH and this old house, he was long-term recognition, but never resolved what transpired. In reality, what caused America's cherished carpenter disappear so out of nowhere? The devastating part, though, the reality of his low-key departure? Where should we go? Let's go back to 1989. Lovers of woodworking every state in the U.S. take a seat in front of watching televisions, curious about the programming that PBS offers and up for them this period. They spot a guy Norm Abrams enters a tiny workshop stocked with power equipment, arranged timber, and a massive sliding barn door. Suddenly, the next Yankee Workshop is filled with energy. Then again, who is Norm Abram precisely? He managed to reach this point, having one of the United States watched woodworking programs. To get that, a little backtracking is required. More. As far back as October 3, 1949, Norm is born in Wound at that moment, Providence, Rhode Island. I grew up in his hometown as Milford, Massachusetts, and he spent his time riding horses or playing baseball bicycles as their peers. Turns out, he keeps up with his carpenter father in all of his endeavors. At the age of 9, Norm is currently assisting with the installation of hardwood floors. Give that some thought. At a time when the majority of students, these kids, are barely learning how to tie their shoes, Norm is no stranger to working with hammers and saws. By the time he graduates from high school, he's allocated summers spent assisting his father on construction sites. Going to college looks promising at first, so Norm gives it a shot. Earning a degree in mechanical engineering from the University of Massachusetts Amherst. However, lectures took over the class very fast, dulled his interest. He is seeking engagement, a pursuit he's skilled enough to construct using only his bare hands. Norm progresses to the area of business administration. Nevertheless, neither of those works. He understands just the thing he enjoys, practical, hands-on work. Thus, he abruptly drops out of college about to graduate and embark on his path. Now we're in 1976. Ralph Waldo starts a business of his own named his initial employer was Integrated Structures, Inc., construction of a general store on a massive Cape Cod. It's been super successful. Pretty very soon, Norm will be in charge of a large-scale building project, several locations in New England. Being young, extremely gifted, and he possesses abilities that respected and admired by others. Nevertheless, the course of events, another twist waiting for him. In 1979, TV producer Russell Marash recruits Norm to build a tiny backyard workshop at his home. Marash isn't an ordinary client. He's the mastermind behind notable TV series like Julia Child's cooking program, The Chef from France. Russell notices the meticulous, neat, and well-organized Norm is at his job. It soon comes to the realization that Norm possesses unique, captivating, and potentially beloved by viewers watching. As time goes on, Russell extends invitations Norman to take part in home improvement project in a program named This Old House. Norm begins displaying homeowners on a regular basis what tools to utilize for home repairs and renovations. He wins the heart of the American people. Norm becomes the go-to handyman for everyone, relied on for his soothing voice, thorough directions, and helpful hints. Now once again, let's fast forward. This is 1989. Once the house has been here for a decade, Norm, Russell concludes, merits his own show. Consequently, the current Yankee Workshop is at birth. Distinct from this ancient abode as the focus is entirely on woodworking projects. Every episode has Norm walking people viewing the construction process, furniture such as seats, cupboards, and tables, as well as outdoor buildings such as gazebo's gardens, and spectators are unable to. This is enough. Norm creates works of wood not hard. His pace is leisurely. Everything is clarified by him. Make your steps crystal obvious for whoever is viewing from the comfort of their own home can keep up. He visits famous in the opening credits of every show off his crafting skills, origins of concepts. He then goes back to his store and begins working, cautiously expounding on each aspect. This corset becomes well known very fast. It appears similar to a warm barn, yet concealed by that enormous and entirely furnished sliding door workshop for woodworking. This store takes square feet precisely 936. From within there is a season for everything. Power tools, the use of routers, drills, and a unique the room for completion, hidden in a corner. The renowned west wall showcases the rear table where Norm handles lesser tasks and specifics. On the southern side, transports the miter saw stand, supplies machinery, including radial arm saws, units, and secret spot with a workstation and desk spectators in space never really view. Considering along the eastern wall there is a set of stairs that reach a loft that is filled with tools for sanding, and specialized jigs with the effective dust collector, maintaining air quality tidy up. On the north wall, you can find toolkit for the woodworker. Saw with a band, a perfect jointer, planer, and clamps arranged. Right in the middle is Norm's reliable table saw, the engine that drives all construction undertaking. Month after month, Norm makes a wide variety of products, not limited to furniture. It forms bonds of friendship and trust with people who observe. When the new Yankee program enters its 21st year, Norm having successfully completed about 235 distinct furniture making, audiences watch devotedly, looking forward to witnessing his construct the following. Unsuccessful viewers working with wood. All they do is relax and have fun as I observe Norm's abilities and composure. One's character. With being said, the show's runtime. Every year it remains a mystery as to alternate events are taking place incognito. In the background, something incredibly painful. An item that is going to promptly challenge their preconceived notions about concerning Norm Abram. The audience sees Norm as without wavering, without agitation. Yet what is actually happening when the cameras cut away, getting up and moving? While you watch, Norm finishes up initiatives in a composed manner, bragging yet another amazing upholstery item, but not far from that warm grin, becoming more challenging. You see him finish the legendary endeavors such as that astounding cherry vanity for the bathroom in 1995, or comfortable mission-style sofa in the year 1990. It is you I adore, the ease of knowing each and every all episodes begin and conclude in the same way exactly as scheduled. Every program concludes in tandem with Norm's meticulous tool storage, removing pieces of furniture, sealing leaving the garage door open, and returning to his dinner with the family. Everything is just right, yet things are not as they seem. Season following year, Norm shoots continuously, accumulating at as many as 235 projects between 1989 and 2009. Perhaps you've considered a career in woodworking. Every day may seem simple, but keep in mind that these endeavors necessitate substantial making preparations. Ned and his crew meticulously choose all layouts, find exact resources, and arrange comprehensive protocols in place prior to the camera's roll. These aren't little tasks either. Every episode calls for excellence. Having 1 year, the number of projects increases striving to achieve. Norm begins by addressing less substantial objects, such as nightstands and chests for blankets. Through the middle of the 9th grade, he is expected to progressively larger. Photos that require a minimum of 2 episodes to complete. Vessels made from scuff, even complete outdoor storage buildings. By for the 1998 to 1999 season, initiatives evolve into expertly crafted works of art and elaborate roll-top desk. A huge the undertaking standard divides into episodes in order to master it. With each project demands far more preparation, stress, and spending less time with his loved ones. This is fantastic television for you. Norm follows each step with composure, always appearing unhurried. But over time, when the minutes tick by at a dizzying rate for Norm, the woodworker's legion of devoted followers, so the network would like to see additional episodes each year. By 2008's 20th season, they're taking a risk on something new on prior occasions. A massive kitchen renovation happening in the residence of producer Russell Marash. Broken, divided into 9 parts that centered on construction and assembly of cabinets. It is you witness the magnificent transformation of a kitchen from one episode to the next, but you miss out on behind-the-scenes toll it takes. Precise measurements are required for every episode, meticulously crafted, flawlessly executed. Even doing something as basic as constructing a kitchen cabinetry requires meticulous care to detail. Making a mistake is not an option. Hour after hour, Norm films and iteratively doing tasks in order to achieve stunning photo. Nevertheless, spectators are never shown he perspired. There is a sense of calmness around Norm, and to the letter. Yet in response to rising demand, Norm's individual battles. The more he gets a better age, His birth year, 1949, indicates, in the final moments of the program, he will be turning 60 in the 2009 season. 60 aged, sitting for long periods of time on slanted, uneven concrete surfaces, desks, operating hefty power equipment. This has been his constant occupation ever since his 20s. His body isn't going to like it. The things that discomforts that aren't captured in the footage: stiffness and aches. Nobody can see him. Weary, rubbing aching wrists after hours spent, filing or relaxing his achy just after lugging around that big lumber. Off woodworking is more than simply a pastime, photography with Norm. It's a physically demanding job. After that, also, there is the aspect that deals with feelings. Norm enjoys carpentry, but after 20 years of filming, his enthusiasm gradually transforms into his job. From one year to the next, fans eagerly anticipate every new episode. However, with every new undertaking, Norm adds stress, requires more time away to his relatives and beyond responsibility. And the reason behind that is airing at WGBH Boston on October 16, 2009, declares a startling development. Exactly the same next episodes of TYW will be manufactured. Incredible 21, the popular woodworking program, peacefully concludes. Together with the entire fandom is in disbelief. In what ways? Why did such a beloved program abruptly end? At financing appears to be the issue, however. Norm goes on to clarify it has nothing to do with money. Every single episode was entirely underwritten by patrons and may have readily persisted throughout the years. Yet Norm personally determines that it's time. He has a sense of fulfillment. Each and every one of his goals. More above all else, he longs to finally during actual family time. Goodbye again, filming without end. Decreased in frequency needs for upcoming woodworking endeavors. Retiring from his role after 21 years hidden from view. Supporters, it's incredibly painful. You find out that Norm isn't merely a carpenter. He is now your companion in woodworking. Through the past 2 decades, he has on a weekly basis, assisting you by means of complex undertakings or simply being there for you. The piece termination has a significant impact on viewers, caught us off guard. Unfortunately, Norm's serenity, which is taken for granted, never. I was hoping the show would simply conclude, but it is able to, silently, suddenly. Upon completion of the previous 2008 marks the debut of a new project, the Tap Table. Next year, in Season 21, there will be just repeats from Seasons 9 and 10, which were temporarily introduced by Norm. Exactly the same. Wooden undertakings, merely reiterations of beloved classics followed by a pause, though the workshop is now closed. No updates, there will not be a major farewell episode. No one but Norm striding serenely out of the class for the final time. Despite the fact that unexpectedly concludes the show in 2009, occurs at a later date. All the way into September the 5th of 2022 was the last day for fans to stream parts from this Old House Insider. However, following that, not even those vanished since due to changes in license. The situation appears to be time may wash away Norm's woodworking legacy. End up entirely gone. Next thing you know, on January 13, 2023, producer Russell A. New, YouTube video features Marash. Shocking video with breaking news. With each, the latest Yankee Workshop episode is returning, this time at no cost to all view content on the web. Out of nowhere, Norm's initiatives reach a fresh demographic while igniting enthusiasm for the younger audience that didn't catch the initial print run. Now that Norm has closed the workshop door behind you, may believe he is subtly withdrawing. Using Norm Abram's background in woodworking, someone who prefers to take things slowly in full detail. Indeed, he abandons the relentless filming pressure, but he has a lot more on his to-do list. Instead, whereas Norm eagerly takes on new endeavors, it's likely that you would be surprised. On the year 2001, the speech that Norm delivers at the Boston school located on North Bennett Street. Teaching excellence is the school's claim to fame, handicrafts and carpentry. Norm imparts his wisdom, motivates individuals pursuing a career in carpentry, same as when he was a kid. In his likewise enthusiastic about inspiring the next generation, the generation is supported by Norm. Upcoming traineeship program participating in construction trades are taught to young individuals, maintaining the practice of traditional carpentry. But he has an even greater impact. Norm occupies a seat on the trustee board at historic Massachusetts's Old Sturbridge Village Museum, renowned for demonstrating to guests how eons ago there were individuals. Norm enjoys the past and experiencing life in this community, assists him in safeguarding traditions and abilities historical periods. Truthfully, Norm's dedication to safeguarding heritage garners 2018 saw him get a special award, the Ken The Burns Lifetime Achievement title. This recognizes and rewards those who important impacts on the arts and the protection of past cultures. Speaking of honors, Norm gets a plethora of additional while he was employed. The 23rd of April in 2009, when the Tawetole Norm is presented with their iSmart recognition for exceptional service. They acknowledge his dedication throughout his life, encouraging a risk-free environment. Recall the way Norm consistently mandates the use of protective eyewear at the start of each and every program. In his pay attention to eye protection avoids innumerable harm, something spectators must. Norm gives it his all. Quite gravely. Also, this is another enormous honor. Presenting at the 49th Annual Daytime Emmy June 18, 2022, Awards, Norm, and the everyone in the This Old House crew gets an award for lifelong achievement bestowed by the Voices of America's television network, Sciences. Please consider this. This antiquated house earns 117 Emmy nods out of more than over the years and earns 20 Emmys. Norm makes an appearance in over 1,000 renovations to additional episodes establishing a household, and more than 50 residences surname, as they progress. Except for this, another intriguing aspect of Norm. He declines no other hobbies than woodworking and house renovation. Norm truly turns up in areas you'd never expect. It would seem that he portrays starring in the offbeat, animated series Freakazoid in Normata's one of the episodes, where the criminal abducts him in order to construct a unique weapon made of wood. He makes an appearance on children's television series such as Between the Lions and Carmen, Where Are You? Twice to San Diego. Additionally, Norm has starred in humorous Foot Locker ads titled, His performance on House of Hoops demonstrates his ease during any kind of filming. Yet another entertaining show, Norm makes an appearance during AI of the game program Fetch for Kids on PBS with assisting in the development of every activities, a lemonade stand. Also in the year 2010, as a guest star on the hit cake show Ace of Cakes, once again demonstrating his willingness to venture beyond his familiar territory. No matter where Norm travels, he's renowned for the consistency of his demeanor, approachable manner. Norm's shirts in plaid achieve legendary status. He's almost never seen omitting one. Yes, those clothes are known to fans, immediately, and even comedic programs such as parody of Norm's signature from Home Improvement style. Do you recall, Al Borland? The plaid shirt-loving protagonist is influenced by authentic Norm Abram, in fact. But how does Norm normally act when he's not on camera? When Norm is at home with his wife, craftswoman Elise resides in a lovely colonial home with timber frame. Norm establishes his home in Kirile, the Bay State. Heck, Norm has written a book, regards to constructing this dwelling known as Norm Abram's new house, discussing his decisions about the building's design process. A subsequent house is purchased by him, near the ocean in Rhode Island, planning to create a brand new woodworking shop. That's the place. Furthermore, he contemplates embarking on a voyage of self-discovery construction, a whole new form of woodworking adventure. Norm enjoys being active and exploring new things. Together with Elise, he enjoys the kitchen, going to museums, and exploring exhibition spaces, water sports, kayaking, and fishing. Despite detaching himself from his television programs, Norm keeps on pursuing interests that occupy his time and provide him joy. Aside from that, Norm Abram has written not one but 8 novels. Concerns carpentry. Titles such as Assess Cut Twice, Shake Once, and most of the time from the At the New Yankee Workshop. There is even a young published work called The New Yankee Workshop. Things for kids, advice for fans and newbies benefit from his wealth of knowledge. It was furthermore has a position on the publishing. He contributes to This Old House as a writer. Norm's Notebook, a widely read column, offering practical advice on woodworking to monthly readers. However, regardless of comes to a close in due time. Once a astounding 43 years as a master carpenter on This Old House, Norm announces his retirement in May 2022. Fans are emotional. Norm Abram extends beyond television one's character. He is now a member of individuals' lives for many years. Accolades from PBS: The Life and Work of Norm, with a focus on the house that was held on October 3, 2022, made by Norm. Our acquaintances, co-workers, and famous people divulge anecdotes, video clips, and the past commemorating all things typical accomplished. Despite the fact that word got out regarding Norm's condition as individuals, Norm has never noticed his weight reduction, declares a sickness to the public. In its place, he goes into retirement in a low-key manner, devoting time to his loved one's interests and a slower speed. Norm Abram's currently story appears to be finished, yet he's constantly surprised everyone.